And joining me now is former U.S. Ambassador to Israel, Martin Indyk, Vice President of Foreign Policy at Brookings, co-convener of the 2012 Saban Forum on U.S.-Israel relations, which is convening this week. Ambassador, thanks very much. What is the significance of what happened at the UN? A step forward, a step back, or status quo?
I guess to step sideways out of the normal channel for resolving the conflict peacefully, that is through negotiations, sideways to the United Nations. It doesn't really move the Palestinians forward. As you said, it's a significant but symbolic act. If it produces a kind of punitive, vicious circle in which the Israelis now announce more settlement activity, particularly strategic settlement activity, as it seems to be, and then the Palestinians decide to go to the International Criminal Court who charge Israel with some crimes, and then we get into a downward spiral. The Congress cuts the funds to the Palestinian Authority. We could be in very negative territory quite quickly, and bear in mind that there's an election coming up in Israel in which an outbidding process is likely to occur. Already you have Foreign Minister Lieberman who's calling for the toppling of Abu Mazen, and unfortunately there isn't an actual negotiating process happening at the moment. It hasn't been for 2 years, and that means it's always difficult to stop something with nothing, and that's where we are at the moment.
Will anything happen without real U.S. leadership? There's been a lot of criticism that this administration has not invested political capital in this.
Well, the president did invest a lot of political capital in his first 2 years, but it was to no avail, and I think that he then focused on getting re-elected and wanted to see whether the parties themselves were willing to come forward instead of just exchanging accusations. And I think that that's where we're going to be. There's going to be an Israeli election. Nothing can happen before then. After that, we'll have to see what kind of coalition is formed, who the Prime Minister will be. If it's a repeat of this existing coalition, a right-wing coalition under Prime Minister Netanyahu, and if Abu Mazen continues to demand no negotiations before there's a full settlements freeze, we'll be stuck. And I suspect President Obama will conclude that nothing much can be achieved here, and he'll go off to focus on his pivot to Asia. But if, in the wake of the elections, both Abu Mazen and the newly elected Prime Minister of Israel decide to come back to the table and to try to resolve the conflict through negotiations, then I think we'll see President Obama being an active and full partner.
Martin Indyk, thank you very much. Thanks for being with us today.